Hi guys, this is AC, your host at The Sunny Show, bringing you another edition of our live show at The Sunny Show. So today we are going to give a voice to mental health, focusing on depression. And our guest speaker has just come on live now. Welcome, Daniel.
Hello, Clarice. How are you?
Okay. You hear
Can
me?
you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Welcome, and thank you so much for honoring our invite.
It's okay. Sorry.
So welcome, guys. Whoever is watching, can you indicate with a message if you can hear us well? Like I said, today we are giving a voice to mental health, focusing on depression. And at the Sunday Show, we give a voice to the voiceless. We are a voice of hope to those who have faced the social issues, which most often people deem as being too painful, too emotional, or too sensitive to talk about. So because we know that whatever you give a voice to has the power to change your life. And through our advocacy, those who suffer or have been affected by subjugation and marginalization, they can draw inspiration from the problems that they face. So, because we are going through a very difficult moment now with the pandemic, coronavirus. So this pandemic has an effect on people in so many ways. There is social isolation or social distancing. People are being at home. People are not able to go to work. Most often, we've been advised to stay at home if possible, to wear masks to save ourselves or to save others. However, as time goes on, because people are being stuck at home, I don't really want to use the word stuck a lot because people are being asked to stay at home, and because of social distancing, and we don't really have to. We don't really have that face-to-face relationship with other people. It affects us differently, and most especially, it's either affecting our mental health now, or it is going to affect our mental health in the long run after COVID. So, coincidentally or not, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And this week, actually, starting from Monday, the 18th of May, it's been celebrated worldwide as Mental Health Week. And the theme is kindness. And we all know that in various cultures, it is difficult to talk about depression or to talk about mental health. Most people do not even want to hear about it. It is most often regarded as a taboo topic or taboo subject, which people think it is something that has to be hidden, and each individual has to deal with it on their own or just within the family. However, because of the taboo surrounding this topic, mental health, so many people are suffering in silence, so many people are dying. And we have come together. I spoke with my friend Daniel, and we decided that it's a good idea. We really talk about the mental health, focusing on depression, because there are so many people out there who are experiencing signs of depression, but they are not really aware. Either they are aware and they are afraid to talk about it because of the stigma surrounding mental health or the stigma surrounding depression. We thought it's very necessary and it's a very important topic that we talk about, especially during this week. I personally think that mental health is not a topic which we should just concentrate on a particular week or in a particular month to talk about. Mental health should be a normal topic that we have to be discussing every day, just like any other illness. We talk about cancer every day. we talk about HIV every day, and anytime people discuss it, the fact that mental health is not being talked about often, or that depression is not being talked about often, doesn't mean that there are not people that who are not suffering from depression. There are lots of people who have died in silence. And so it is very, very necessary to talk about it all through the year, not just during this period. But at the same time, if a period or a month has been dedicated to raise awareness on a particular topic, it is good, because not everyone really knows about certain topics until they've seen someone posting about that particular issue or that particular topic during an awareness week. Then people will say, oh, I didn't know it was mental health awareness month. I didn't know it was autism awareness month, things like that. And so it creates more awareness, and it gives more room for people to understand and to be accepting of those who are facing these issues. So Daniela, I will, before we officially start, would you be able to give us a brief introduction about yourself? I don't want to do it myself. So I'll pass it over to you to introduce yourself there before we continue.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for watching. My name is Daniel Nyoswa. I would say Daniel Nyoswa Momble. My husband name is Momble. So I'm the mother of 3. Yeah, I'm a manager in a care agency, domiciliary care agency in London, and I work full-time. So I'm a mother, and I'm a wife, and I'm a full-time worker. And in my community, I take upon myself to talk about this COVID-19, because I normally play around and say, oh, I call it BBC Bloleke, which is like a news. Every time there's a new update, I'll post it, and then I'll put down BBC Bloleke. BBC because we all know BBC in UK, and then Bloleke, which is my village where I'm from in Ivory Coast. So I normally say BBC Bloleke. This is how I took interest in news and everything around coronavirus. But other than that, I have my platform, Women of Influence, where I do like kind of coaching. I do videos around motivation, around inspiration, and around topic that really in our personal life, our daily life. So we can talk about somebody's problem, and I'll ask people to give their view or give advice to this person. So that's a little bit about me.
All right, thank you so much. Before we actually really go into our questions, I remember a couple of weeks ago, my 9-year-old to be 10 years old next week, he actually asked me why my Monday motivations are mostly on mental health. And I actually stopped for a while, and I looked back. I discovered that I've talked about mental health for a while now. When this COVID actually started, I knew it was going to have an effect on people, whether we like it or not. Individuals are actually grieving. We are actually grieving, because we all know grieving is not just about somebody dying. So individuals are grieving their jobs which have been lost. We are grieving jobs which we don't know what's going to happen with them tomorrow or after this COVID. We are grieving financial loss as well, and also people who have physically lost their loved ones due to the devastating effect of this coronavirus. So each and every one of us is grieving. And you may know one of the stages of grieving is depression. And depression is a mental illness. So I knew that at some point people will be hard hit by depression during this coronavirus. So I said to him that that the sudden attack from coronavirus, many people will be struggling, either physically, psychologically, and even mentally. And if due care is not given, many will be diagnosed with mental illness later, and those who already have an existing mental condition, they may struggle more during this period. So it is very important that people are quite conscious and aware of what to do to minimize these effects. Then I also told him that because May is Mental Health Awareness Month, it's also good for me to look for a topic of motivation that's centered around this topic, so you'll be able to motivate people. and especially those who have one form of mental health or the other. Then I also looked again at the calendar, and I discovered that the 28th of May is celebrated as World Menstrual Hygiene Management Day. And when you look at it, in some parts of the world, there's still a lot of taboo and stigma around menstrual hygiene, and those who are affected, the girls and the women, they are still stigmatized. I actually read in one area in Nepal or in India, girls or women have to be sent away from their homes to go and live in an isolated house somewhere. This in itself can actually cause mental health problems in the long run because of the isolation, because people look at them at that point as if they are dirty. So it affects your self-esteem, and you may actually be facing difficulties at that point, especially with your mental health. So having a motivational message as well helps people to be aware, and when they are aware, they accept, they'll be able to understand more people who actually have mental health issues. So I will pass over to you, Daniel, with our first question. If you can briefly talk to us about COVID. I know you've been talking a lot on your page and in your group and about COVID. Just enlighten us a little bit more.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, once more, welcome everyone. And we are talking about mental health, and we are trying to evaluate the impact that COVID has on our mental health, and we are focusing on depression. So, Daniel, over to you.
Thank you, Clarice. COVID-19 is a new illness that can affect your lungs and your airway. It started around December, end of December. That's why they call it COVID-19, because it started in 2019. Yeah. But we came to know about it around January. We're not taking it serious until February. It started becoming very, very serious. So it's an illness that can affect your lungs and your airways. It is caused by a virus called coronavirus. And the main symptoms of COVID-19 are high temperature, a new and continuous cough, and a change. You can smell there'll be a change in your smell or your taste. And it's also what they ask us to do is to with coronaviruses, because it's a bit like flu. So the symptom will be like flu-like. So to help stop the spread of coronavirus, they ask us to stay at home. You understand? So this is something that you can get through breathing. You can either breathe it, or you can touch something that is affected and then infected, and then you can come in and give it to yourself. So coronavirus came in 2019, like I said. So to help us through this, to stop all this spread of coronavirus, we were told to stay at home. To stay at home as much as possible, to try to avoid contact with anyone that does not live with us at home. Yeah, so that's how we came into, that's what is going to lead us into our conversation today. This virus, you can treat it usually by, they say you should stay at home, but they have not found a vaccine yet. They have not found treatment of it yet. So we don't know yet. We don't know how it's going to be. They are still working on it. They say it can take a year or a year and a half. So they put few restrictions in place around April. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Around April, but later on they extended it around for 21 more days. So in the absence, like I was saying, of treatment and vaccine, for the government to be able to control this virus, because it was human contact, so they decided that we should stop seeing each other. We should stay at home. The less first contact you have with people, the less you could spread the virus. Like if you have it and you don't know, if you go and see your friend, you go and see your family, or you go to work, you can give it to other people, because the virus takes like 7 days to show the symptoms in your body. So you may not even know. So a lot of government decided to just lock down, to put a lockdown in any of the country, everywhere. That's how isolation came into place. So given the rapid spread of a virus, social lockdown is urgent. It was very, very urgent. They have to do it because people were not following the 2 meters that we were meant to have among us. So China was the first country, and then South Korea. China was the first country that got it, and other countries started having it, like Italy, America, and then UK. We all started having it. France. A lot of countries started the lockdown before us. We didn't start early until 13th of April. We started in 13th of April. So for all this, they decided to make us stay at home and look after ourselves so that we can control the virus. And why are we talking about coronavirus today and mental health? Because a lot of people will be affected with this because there are changes that have been put into place. Like you're not used to staying at home. You're not used to not to see your friend, your family member. So you'll be all over the place. Either you have to stay at home by yourself. Imagine somebody that is vulnerable, and maybe you are depending on your sister or your brother. Now you have to stay at home.
Yeah.
So this will take me into mental health. I'll just say briefly a small thing about mental health, and
Yeah.
then we can go into depression. Okay, so as the countries introduce measures to restrict movement as part of effort to reduce the number of people infected with COVID-19, more and more people, uh, we have to make changes to our daily routine. The new reality of working from home, temporary unemployment, homeschooling of our children, lack of physical contact with family member, like I was saying, and friend and colleague to take and time to get used to it. So we have to get used to all these things. It's something that we have never seen before. We've never done before in any country. And now we have to adapt to it. So our lifestyle is changing. This is how we are becoming now vulnerable. Most of us, some of us are becoming vulnerable. Some of us that were depending on other people, they have now to be on their own because you cannot go and visit anybody. Some people have children that maybe the mother were helping them with. Now your mother cannot help you anymore because you cannot go and visit her. So a lot of things like this. So mental health mental health includes our emotional, our physical, and social well-being. It affects how we think, how we act, and how we cope with life in difficult situations. And like I was saying, we are now in a difficult situation where you have to depend on yourself. You don't have the help of your family member anymore. You cannot talk to friends. You cannot go out with friends. Like some people were saying, "Oh, I'm missing our get together at work," things like this. So now maybe those things were helping you before, but now you don't have them anymore.
Yeah.
So now you're on your own. So these are lifestyle changes that you have to make, and it was just drastically. It was very, very quick and sharp. So we were not prepared for it. Um, so it also helped mental health also help determine how we handle stress. So our mental health help us how we handle stress, um, related to other changes that we make, the choices. So every stage of our life, mental health is very, very important. It can be from our childhood, from our adolescence, through adulthood and aging. People with mental health disorder can get better, that's for sure. Because if you follow the treatment and if you follow therapies, you can get better. But some will recover, some will take time. Like we're saying, if you go into depression, then this is another talk in his own. So why mental health is important? Mental health is important because it can help you to cope with stress, like I was saying, of life. You
Yeah.
can be physical healthy, have a good relationship, make meaningful contribution to your community. You can be useful in your community, work productively, and realize your full potential. Because when you're fit mentally, your body as well. Because if your mental health is affected, then your body will also be affected.
Yeah.
And for example, if you're having problem with your mental health, you can raise risk of physical health problems such as stroke, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. So there are a lot of things that can affect our mental health. lot of factors that can really affect our mental health. And
Yeah.
those are biological factors such as genes or brain chemistry, life experiences such as trauma or abuse, people that have been abused, so people that went through trauma in their life,
Mm.
family history, or mental health problem. Your lifestyle as well can affect your mental health, such as your diet, physical activity, and substance use. If you improve it by doing meditation, relaxation technique, and practice. If you use all these things, you can improve your mental health.
Yeah.
Can my mental health change over time? Yes, over time your mental health can change. So don't say, oh, I never had mental health before. We all went through some stage in our life
Mm.
where we came into maybe you were dealing with a difficult situation, such as maybe chronic illness, taking care of somebody that was sick, facing money problem, which now in this condition, in this lockdown, a lot of us will be going through this situation, especially money condition, because now
Yeah.
the government doesn't know. Before it was 80% that they were paying, now they are reducing it to 60. So imagine somebody that was earning maybe 1,500, now maybe it went down to 1,300. Now it's
Yeah.
going to go down to 1,000, and you have your rent to pay, you have your consultants because they didn't do anything about those ones. So they are still here. You still have to pay for it for them. So
Mm.
again, all these things, this is what is going. If you are not careful, your mental health will change in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what can I do to there are signs? How do I know that I have mental health or people around me have mental health? So when it comes to your emotion, it can be hard to know that you it is normal and what is not because you don't know because it's you. But other people around you may notice it. But there are few signs that I was able to put down. So there are warning signs that you may have mental health problems, such as if there's change in your eating or sleeping habits. For somebody now is sleeping maybe 10 hours a day or 8 hours now, maybe you're lacking sleep, you cannot sleep anymore, or you don't even have appetite, or some of them would start eating even more. Because I
Yeah.
remember a friend of mine was telling me when she's stressed, she eats more. So people have different way of coping with their stress. Me when I'm stressed, I don't want to eat.
I don't have.
So you see, I'm stressed. I will start losing weight
Yeah.
drastically. That means I'm stressed because I'm not eating. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. So we have different way of dealing with it. So you'll be withering. You see somebody that's very cheerful, but at some point the person is withering from people, from activity that they used to enjoy. Maybe you like to go to party. Now when they say party, Daniel, let's go. I'm not going. Things like this. So that's how you know somebody that was very active on Facebook. You see sometimes you don't even see one post on the page and be wondering, oh, what's wrong? These are the things that you should look into your friends and colleague and family member, and how that's how you can detect it early.
Yeah.
And this person too can have low or no energy at all. You don't want to do anything. Even to go and take your shower is a problem. You just don't want to do anything. And then you're very okay. People may think that, oh, you're not okay, but you know that you're okay because this is in your mental.
Yeah.
You see some people say, no, I'm not okay, I'm not stressed, I just can't be bothered. But those are signs of mental health. You can have pain all over your body, pain you don't know, unexplained pains in your body, feeling helpless and hopeless. Maybe somebody that was not smoking before or drinking before will start drinking. You understand? You start drinking and you start smoking. Maybe you are smoking less, but now you start smoking more. So those things are the things that you should look into. Using drug as well more than usual. Maybe you are not using them at all. You are
Mm-hmm.
not smoking at all. You are not drinking at all. But for some reason you started drinking. You are now smoking. Um, you can be confused. You can be confused. You can be forgetful also. You can be upset for no reason, worried or scared. So you're sitting down there, you don't know why you feel so worried.
Mm-hmm.
You forget things. You put something down, you don't even remember where you put it. Um, your mood can swing just like that. Today, now you're smiling. Next minute, you're just upset. Moon swing.
Yeah.
Also, and that can affect your relationship with either your spouse or your children or people around you. It can be at work
Yeah.
because everything just upsets you. And also your memories. There are things that come in your head, you cannot get out of your head. You don't know why. You can hear voices. You're there and then you're hearing voices. You're behaving strange like you used to. Some people can even go as far as trying to hurt themselves, harm
Yeah.
themselves or other people because they don't know. They don't
Yeah.
know. So when if you're not able to perform all these daily tasks, like taking care of your kid, getting to work or school, you see some family they are having problem. The kid will start going to school late because they just can't be bothered, or the kid will not be going to school. So things like that you need to look up to, because maybe you see Danielle every morning, she's coming to school with her children, very cheerful, greeting everybody, but for some reason, sometime now Danielle is coming, she's very quiet. She doesn't even put makeup on. She'll come in a pyjama to come and drop the kid. She just cannot be bothered.
Yeah.
And these are the things that we should look to after one another. Because if you notice that, you can talk to me, and maybe I need somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
You understand? So
Mm-hmm.
things like that we need to look into it. And mental health problem that can be depression and anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things that really can affect that they are the main problem of mental health. So for were you asking a question? Are they asking question? Because I can't see the question.
No, I haven't seen any question yet. So if there's any question, if anyone has a question, just type it in there. We can answer you.
Because
Thanks
hold
for
on,
watching. Yeah, that's fine. Go on.
not able to share. Someone is saying not able to share.
Able to share. I don't know why, because I've already seen quite a few shares on the
Yeah,
page.
because I share it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Please share it.
Yeah, and you also mentioned that when somebody has mental health issues or depression, they have unexplained body pains, constant feeling hopeless, and that sometimes that's one of the reasons why people end up committing suicide, because they can't really cope with the pressure
Yeah,
anymore. They can't really cope with the pain, and all that is going on in their head is, I should just end my life and end all of this,
yeah,
because the pain is just too much. Yeah, go
possible,
ahead.
yeah,
Yeah, I just wanted
yeah,
to add a bit on that.
that's fine.
Mm,
So depression, I would say for depression, which is the main discussion for today.
yeah,
Depression is a long-term, long-lasting low mood disorder. It affects our ability to do everyday things, feeling pressure or take interest in activity that we used to. Um, Depression is not something that you can just snap out.
no.
It's not something that you can just snap out. It is a sign of weakness. Um,
It is not.
Sometimes
It
it
is,
is not. Sorry,
yeah,
it is not a sign of weakness, because sometimes people will be thinking, come on, you can do it, or come on, Daniel, that's not like you, but you cannot explain to people,
yeah,
because it's something I always say to people that with mental health you can't see it. You cannot
yeah,
see it. It's not like maybe cancer or maybe a headache, things like that you can explain, but with depression or mental health in general, you cannot explain it.
mm-hmm,
It's very hard to explain, but with all these signs that we just spoke about, you'll be able to detect if the person is having and it's with depression is all of us have been through it. We experience it, everybody, but
yeah,
sometimes that is something that can last forever, or a one episode it just comes and go, and then it's finished. When you solve the problem, you don't have it anymore. um the doctor can describe depression as mild, moderate, or severe. So
yeah,
again, it would depend on when you found out. That's why I was saying that we have to look up to other brothers and sisters, because
mm-hmm,
you can detect it early and advise them to seek for help. But
yeah,
if you know, if you don't see it, and then maybe I've been through this for few months, 3 months. By the
mm,
time I look for help, it may be severe, and this is where they try now to harm you themselves,
yeah,
because it's too much. It's too much for them. So if the doctor know which of the three, either is mild, moderate, or severe, they will prescribe different treatment depending on how they describe it.
yeah.
And depression is very common in, it can affect anybody of any age, including children. I was even shocked when I read about it. It can include the children, because when the exams is coming, they will be stressed. Like those
Yeah,
that have PTSD, and especially this in this time of Corona, because the kids, it's something, like I said, it's something that just came out of nowhere. People were not ready for it. So even the children were not ready for it. Because how many children in this country go schooling in homeschooling? They are used to early morning, wake them up, get them ready, school. They finish school, they come home, do assignment, eat. So that's the routine of daily routine every day. But now you get up in the morning, they don't even know. Okay, go and do your homework. They do homework. They have to play. So this is something that just came and then distracted everything. So children as well can be depressed. So mothers need to look into it. Maybe your child, all this sign, you can see it in children as well. Um, Maybe a child that wasn't crying before, she will start crying for no reason.
yeah,
So things like that you need to start looking up to. So it can affect children as well, and it can affect also adults. So any age, people of all age. There are different type of depression. There's clinical depression. Is a term that doctor use for people that just the men that they have been diagnosed by a doctor.
yeah,
Depressive episodes. Your doctor might say that you are going through a depressive episode. So all this thing again, they need to know if it's moderate, mild, or severe.
yeah,
Yeah. So where are we? To diagnosis and symptoms. Symptoms of depression, they are all almost the same. Low mood, feeling sad, irritable, or you're upset all the time, having less energy, just like the one that we said before.
yeah,
Distressly, become tired more easily, loss of concentration, lose the interest and enjoyment of activity that you used to enjoy. Um, it's difficult for you to loss of interest in sex, feel more agitated, less pressure, feel less pleasure from things. Nothing, just you just can't be bothered, really, like we said, isn't it? You just cannot be bothered because where you're very comfortable. You can sit down in one place all day in the same clothes. You're not worried. You just can't be bothered. That's it.
yeah. Because
I'm
you
done now. Just
physically,
I'm okay. They're okay.
because
So
you
thank
don't physically feel like doing anything. You don't actually have the strength to do it. And
no.
yeah, and again, if you have those, if the individual has those the body pains, the unexplained body pains, which no painkiller is actually helping, you just feel like just sitting there and so it
You can't be bothered. You sit there in one place, the kids have eaten, they have not eaten is not your problem. All you want to do is just sit down there. I watched a video of a man recording the house. He came from work and then he took a picture of his a video of his house, and he was saying, oh, his wife spent most of her time on Facebook. And I was thinking, because the state of the house, I don't know if
yeah,
you saw that video, the
no,
state of the house was like upside down. And I
God,
was thinking, did he ask himself, was she like that? Because we don't know. That's the thing. We cannot judge somebody just by video. What has she
yes,
been? What is going on in her mind? Was she like that before? Because
hmm,
somebody that you stay with for, and how many children, 3 or 4 children, I don't think you live in this house for all your life. And then if you're in, then that means you're comfortable. Understand?
yeah,
So for him to come and do a video recording the whole house, how these are things are here, things are there, what she does is to sit down in one place and she's not bothered with it. I said, did he even ask himself what she's going through?
what she's
This
going
woman
through,
is stressed.
yeah,
Because for a mother of 4 children, I don't think your house has always been like that. And you
no,
would have complained long time ago.
hmm,
So if
with
it's something for a few months
yeah,
and then now you're noticing it, then there's something wrong.
hmm, hmm,
Yeah,
then
so something that push, because you just can't be bothered. You're very comfortable. Wherever you are, you're comfortable. I know some women, they say they are dirty. Me, I don't judge.
no,
Yeah, yeah.
hmm,
but the state of the kitchen, the house that day when he came from work, and he said, "Oh, this is how we are believing." No, I don't think you are believing. That you stay with a woman that the house is like this for almost how many years with 4 children. That means there's something that snapped, and this
Yes,
woman,
something have changed. Which, as
something went wrong.
yeah, as we are going to mention maybe towards the end of our show on how you can help someone who has depression, or if you're suspecting that somebody has depression. Because if someone has not been like that before and suddenly changes, and I think we should be asking if everything is all right.
Yeah.
Rather than complaining that you are not doing this. Because if her house, that lady's house, is in that state, then the lady herself will not look okay.
I mean, even bra was somewhere where it shouldn't be.
Probably in the kitchen, on the kitchen top.
I don't. So that means there's something.
Yeah.
I know people normally say me when other people go left, I go right. But because I sit down and think, okay, why would somebody, a mother of 4, live in this state? House, the state of the house was not good. For somebody that is normal, even if you don't like tidying up like me, at least they are you pack things, make sure everything is, I mean, you do that. But it's not every day that you come, the state of the house is like this. And then you, the husband, instead of you looking into it, maybe, there's something wrong with my wife. Let me look for help. You're here on Facebook, recording the house video, putting the video down, and telling people that your wife is like this. No, you should be there to help her.
And that's his wife. He's equally disgracing himself because he thinks he's disgracing the wife, but he's equally downgrading himself as well.
Yeah.
Because if she
he wasn't thinking like that.
Help. So.
He wasn't thinking like that. But for him, it was disgracing the woman. But no, when I was watching, and this kind of video just get me so upset.
Yeah,
they just get so upset because I'm thinking, instead of you telling the whole world how dirty your wife is, how about you put that phone down, take off your coat and tidy up. Imagine 4 children. If you have maybe 2 disabled children among these 4.
Oh my, that's an addition. Yeah,
that's it. So imagine what she's gone through all day, and then you come home, maybe she's tired or she's fed up, just sat there and thinking, and then you come home, instead of you say, oh. And it was even during the day. It's not like he went home, came home in the night. It was during the day. So put your bag down, put the phone down, leave it. You don't go on Facebook. That's fine. We like Facebook. You don't go. Put the phone down and tidy up.
Yeah. And
I mean, men need to understand that a house is equally for men and women. Definitely. It's true. If your wife cannot do something and then you have strength to do it,
do it.
Do it. Mm-hmm. You help each other.
Yeah, and I think that there's a lot of ignorance as well around this depression issue. So sometimes the other person is completely ignorant, which is one thing I've discovered. To me, if I look at him with my mindset now, I will say he's quite ignorant because if he actually knew about depression and he knew some of the signs of depression, he would have instantly thought that maybe something is wrong. So which is one of the reasons we are still going to mention that if somebody has depression, it is also your responsibility to let others know so that they should be able to help you. Because if they do not know, they will not be able to help you manage, because if they see you are angry all the time, you are moody all the times, you are not tidying the house, and they do not know that this is what's happening to you, they will continue being ignorant. They will continue treating you the way they are treating, because any excuse you give or any reason you give for not doing what you normally do will be regarded as a flimsy excuse, or you're just being lazy.
But the thing is, you yourself, you don't even know that you have it. That's the thing.
No, I mean, if you are already aware, if you are already aware, if you're already at that stage where you've been diagnosed that you have depression, I think it is your place now to be able to tell people. But because it is a very sensitive topic, telling people is another thing. It's another story, because you don't know how people will react towards you, especially friends, because sometimes you tell people will go away from you. Either it takes people closer to you, or it takes people further away from you. But we are still going to mention that as well. Are you still continuing?
We have to talk about how to treat it.
Yes.
Let me, so that you can take over. Yeah. So how to treat depression? The first step to getting treatment is to see your GP. You have to see your GP, and if your GP think that you have depression, they will talk to you about treatment and that they can afford and they can offer you. You can also take talking therapies. Those are the one that where you meet with trainees therapists for a number of sections. Sometimes it will be in group of people with depression as well, so that can help.
Yeah.
Also depressant. Your doctor might offer you that. But they say you can try different types. So if one doesn't work with you, they can try different one until they find the right one for you. There are also exercise therapy. Regular exercise can help with mood if you struggle with depression. So for some of us that don't like exercise, we need to start exercising. As well, is especially in this situation where you are home, you're just sitting down. Exercise is therapy is a very good thing. You can start running. My husband is still talking for me to go and run, but we are still working on it. So we are still working on it. It doesn't come like easy. So if you're not used to something, you have to work. So let him do the talk. How do they sitting there and watching him go and run and come back and then comment on it? But are you sure you run? You're not even sweating.
Not everybody sweats.
But you're not even moving an inch. You're still sitting in the same sofa and asking him if he's sure he went to run and come back. So I'm sitting there and he will go and run and come back. Let's go. I say, yeah, you go tomorrow. So I keep on postponing. And then when he comes back, I'll be doing the talking. So also exercise is very, very, very good at the moment. The GP can offer you maybe pass a gym section, things that you don't pay for it. Brain stimulation also, they can offer that. So I think that's say with you can take over if that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Let me go to the questions now and see. So we've talked about depression and COVID. Let's just see what questions we have. You already mentioned the early signs of depression. Yeah. So what I'm going to talk about, usually I call them my tips on what to do if you have depression. So, and we all know that depression is a mental condition as well as it is a medical condition, as you've said. So it's same as any other illness.
Yeah.
So, but when it is not well managed, then it can have long-term effects, as you mentioned, or the person will have it for a long period of time. So, and we all know that some individuals have depression for a very long time without even knowing, without even realizing, until sometimes if they're struck with a trauma or with a tragic event, that everything becomes very difficult. So if you realize that you are feeling depressed, or you start noticing some of the symptoms, like you said, you seek help, you speak to your doctor about your concerns, and it is absolutely necessary that that people get formal diagnosis, which you said is clinical depression, before engaging in any form of treatment, especially when it comes to taking antidepressants. So it's really good to have a formal diagnosis from your doctor, so they can make it so they'll say you have clinical depression and things like that. And sometimes you can even be signed off work if you are struggling, and if they've made the final diagnosis as well. So the tips which I'm going to mention now, they are beneficial for somebody if because some people get depressed just for a day, just for a few hours, the same as some people get depressed for a day, a month, a year, and years. So so once you already have the official diagnosis, one of the things which you have to do is awareness. We have to be aware of the cause of what is that thing that has caused the depression. What is it that is making us feel this way? What has suddenly happened to our lives that you are suddenly feeling worthless, hopeless, not seeing interest in anything? Because it is very necessary to know the root cause of depression, because awareness will easily lead to acceptance. Because if I do not know that I have depression, I may always end up getting worked up, getting irritated, and not knowing what is that thing behind my mind that's making me so worked up with every little thing. So that's why I say awareness of the fact that you have depression is very, very necessary, because when you are aware, you get to understand yourself and you know what are the triggers, what are the things that will provoke me or get me worked up or get me angry. Then you'll be able to avoid them. So awareness now will lead to acceptance. So, and as you said, depression is a medical condition that needs a treatment. So if it's clinical, you will definitely need some form of medication. But however, not all of us. When I say all of us, I mean Africans. Not all of us will want to go down the medication route, because most of us still do believe so much. Not that we should not believe in God or in prayers. Believe in prayers while taking actions.
Yeah.
So if you believe in, if you know that God will help you, He will help those who help themselves. Because you don't take treatment, or you don't follow the things that they've asked, that your GP or your doctor has asked you to do. Prayers alone will not really help. Then we also have to know how depression will affect us, which aspect of our lives it affects. Is it a particular period during the day? Is it when you are with a particular person? Is it when you are doing a particular activity, or you are somewhere? How does it affect you during your day? So when you know the different areas that it affects you, because I don't think somebody who is depressed is constantly depressed. You obviously have days which you are quite okay, and those days. So it's also good to do something like journaling, be able to write as well, to see whether on this day this is how I felt, this is what I did, and this is how I felt better. And again, it is knowledge is power. So if you've been diagnosed with depression, one of the things you have to do is read more about depression, because your doctor will diagnose you. He's not going to give you textbooks. He's not going to give you information to go back and to go and read. So it's good that we read about depression. We read how it affects us. We know more about it. And when you read about it, you'll be able to explain to people. Maybe somebody doesn't really understand why you've been smiling and suddenly you are not. You can easily say it's because I have depression, and this is how it affects me in these particular areas, because people are different and it may not affect individuals the same. So it's very necessary to be aware and to know exactly what it is all about. It is also advisable to talk to family members and let them know the situation and how it affects you, so that on those days which you are sitting there, like the lady whom the husband said she's just sitting there doing nothing and she's on Facebook. If your family knows that that this is the situation, and those days where you don't feel yourself, you don't feel like doing anything, they can come in and help and do whatever thing that you normally do, because they know that this may be a period where you don't really feel like doing anything, you don't have interest in anything. But if you've not told your family, they won't know, because they will put it down as being lazy. which is what quite a few people actually say, that those who have depression are just being lazy. It is just in their head. But let family members know, immediate family members or close friends, it's good to know. And you mentioned about physical activity, so it's very good to be to be active. Yes, to continue being active, to maintain our physical well-being as well. Because if you are not okay mentally, it will show physically. So yeah, do not be shy to talk about your difficulties, because a problem shared is half solved. At the same time, you have to be open-minded, because some people may not receive the news of you telling them that you have depression. They may not receive it well. So you should know your circle, know your friends, know whom you can trust, and you talk to a friend or to someone you know will listen to you non-judgmentally. And then if you've been prescribed antidepressants, you have to take them religiously, because they'll have side effects if you don't take them constantly as you've been prescribed. And if you have to stop, your doctor will have to let you know when you have to stop. I think you also mentioned about having a balanced diet. Yeah, having a balanced diet, as well as controlling how much you eat. Some people will eat too much, and some people will eat less. Then good sleep, seeking more help, which is the therapy that you mentioned, and losing interest in things or in friends or going for parties. It's also a difficulties, which I think you mentioned. So we can also, if I have depression and I've withdrawn from friends, I can also look for ways to reactivate the relationships. Then with depression comes a lot of negative thoughts. Oh, I'm worthless, I'm hopeless, I'm not useful to anyone. I haven't done anything with my life. I haven't achieved anything for this number of years. Those are the things that go through your mind, the mind of anyone that's depressed, or people who see things, they hear things, but mostly with depression, you kind of lose your self confidence or self esteem, because you don't seem to think anything positive. So positive thinking is very, very good, or reading positive quotes, or putting your mind in a balanced state. And it's not easy, but it's worth trying. And then actually a few things which we can avoid if you have depression. In as much as there are several things that we can do to minimize the devastating effects of depression, there are also a few things which we can do, which we have to do to avoid them if you have depression. Depression in itself will cause people to drink excessively, because sometimes they want to numb the pain. They just want to forget about everything and sleep. Unfortunately, alcohol abuse also leads to depression. So if you have depression and you're drinking because you think that you're going to feel better, it actually worsens your condition at that moment. But some say they drink to numb or to drown their sorrows. You cannot drown your sorrows in a bottle of beer.
Yes, that's it.
You may feel better within a few minutes, but after that, when it's all cleared off your head, what do you do? You go back to your depressive state. And this also applies to substance abuse. And because when someone is depressed, you don't really seem to think straight, because there's a lot of forgetfulness and a lot of negative thoughts going on in someone's mind. People can be very quick at making rash decisions. Like you mentioned that depression will affect a family or marriages or jobs and things like that. Some people may quit their jobs, some people may leave their marriages, but before you leave, it's really good to think about it and let everything settle first before you really make that final decision, if you want to quit your job or you want to quit your marriage. However, there are marriages that have been the cause of someone's depression, or jobs that have been the cause of someone's depression. So those are quite different. And then you also have to, people with depression, they love isolating. They love isolating themselves. I think I think most people who have been suffering with depression, they may actually like this moment. They may actually like this self isolation now, because they are just,
I know, right?
yeah, because they just be comfortable in their little corner, no one to talk to, nothing else, just being there.
Yeah.
So no one to check if their house is clean or not. But it's very good. It's good we avoid isolating ourselves, because when you start isolating yourselves, that's when those negative thoughts start coming on, and you're thinking of not being helpful to anyone, not useful to anyone. The next thing is, I'm going to end this. And how is that ending going to look like? Either committing suicide or harming yourself and or whatnot. So we mentioned earlier that Mental Health Week started on Monday till the 24th of May, and the theme is kindness. How do you think somebody can use kindness to help somebody suffering with depression?
And I think we, at this time of the year, or at this situation where we are in now, we should be very, very kind, meaning we shouldn't discriminate against people, because you'll be thinking, oh, I don't want to be close to this person, I don't want to talk to the person, because maybe you're scared of spreading the virus like COVID-19, or you're scared of having it. What I always say to my people is that they say we should isolate. There's a reason why they are asking us to stay indoors.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't stop our relationship that we have with people. And I always say to people, make sure, look in your contacts in your phone, see somebody maybe you have not spoken to for a long time. Call the person to check. Oh, I'm just checking on you. How are you doing? How are the kids? And things like that. We should show love at this period of the time, because people, like they say, domestic violence the rate of domestic violence went up, because now the husband and the wife, they're in the house, they are all isolated. So abuse will go up, domestic violence will go up. It is the same thing as with children. So if you know somebody that's been through, maybe has this history of domestic violence, this is the time to check on them as well, because you cannot go there physically to see the thing on her face, the bruises that she had. But you can still call. We can still call. You can text somebody to see, oh, I'm checking on you. We shouldn't really discriminate against people. We should still show love. And what I like about this country and this COVID-19 thing is that they created a Facebook groups, and also WhatsApp groups. And then you see how people are showing love. You put your problem there. Oh, I need face mask. People who volunteer, they will come and tell you, oh, I can provide them for you. This is the time to show, and this is the right word that it shows, kindness. This is the time that we need to be kind to other people. We need to maintain our family routine, call people, check on them, send help. It's true that you cannot go and see your sister, but maybe your sister doesn't know how to cook, and then you were helping her with that. You can drop it at the door, and then go back. So we still have to care for our people, elderly people in our community. You can call them, check on them. What can I do for you? Do you need help with shopping? Do you need help with picking up your medication? Do you need help with maybe things that you can do? Do you need help? Show love. This is the time to show love to our loved one, even people that you don't know. Me, I'll call some people, I don't even know them. They'll say, oh, so you just call me to find out how I'm doing. I say, yes. Oh.
So, good. Yeah, that really helps. It really goes away.
Yeah, this is the time, because people are home, they are getting stressed, they are getting depressed. If you notice on the Ivorian COVID-19 group that I created, the Facebook page, I'm doing concerts there. I'm begging people that can sing. Unfortunately, I can't sing. So I have to beg people that can sing to entertain other people, because you'll be stressed. We all know staying. the money is not coming in regularly. You're not even sure if the job will take you back. You are not sure if there's so many uncertainty. You're
Yeah.
not sure so many things right now. So this is the time for you to show other people that
Mm.
right now we are all in it together. You are not alone. And my word is you are not alone. Tu n'es pas seul. We are all in it together. It's not one country, it's the whole world. Everybody is in it. So we have to fight it together. It's
Yeah.
an invisible virus. We cannot see it, but we have to fight it together. So this
Yeah.
is a time for us to show really to show love to one at this time of stressful time for even
Yeah.
children as well. When you call your sister, make sure you talk to the kids. I mean, there are so many things now with technology. There are video calls on WhatsApp or Messenger. You can call your
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
any friend your house. I mean, my house. We put one of us on Zoom,
Mm-hmm.
and then we are watching each other. So there's so many things that we can do in this situation. But please do not get depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Talk, talk. That's what I say. Kindness is a very good choice.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Your line is breaking a little bit. You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, your line seems to be breaking a little bit. So Daniel says during this COVID, it's very necessary. It's good for us to show kindness, because I know evidence shows that kindness or helping others also has a great effect or a great benefit on our own mental health and well-being. And if you know somebody is depressed, let them know you love them. Let them know you are there and you'll be there for them whenever they need you. You have to encourage them to seek help as well, or you encourage them to take their medications if they've forgotten. Like someone said in the comment section, that it also reminds someone to be able to take their medication, and let them know
Yeah.
that you are there and you'll always be available if they need you. And then if somebody says they are not feeling well, please listen. Then when
Mm.
they say they are tired, encourage them to rest. When they've forgotten to take their
Yeah.
medication, remind them next time. Be active in their lives as well. Do not say they are lazy or they have misplaced priorities. Listen to every reason or to every explanation that they are given when they are unable to do the things that they normally do. These excuses or these
Mm.
reasons are not flimsy at all. Yes, we know
Yeah.
that there are some manipulative individuals out there, but
Mm-hmm.
they should not be the cause of you not noticing that there's a problem with your loved one. We know that many have died. Celebrities, people, or ordinary people, many have died because of depression, maybe due to self-neglect or due to neglect from loved ones. So
Yeah.
when somebody has depression, it's a matter of we as a family, as
Mm-hmm.
friends, because I know friends form part of a family. It's a we issue. Same as during this COVID, it's a we and not an I issue. Depression,
Yeah.
as we know, is a hidden, it's a disability, right? Because it actually prevents you from being able to do your daily activity. So it is also regarded as a disability. It
Mm-hmm.
it gradually kills if due attention is not taken. Any person affected needs the families. That person needs the friends to understand and to be able to exercise patience, because depression is real. It comes in various forms. It affects people differently. Individuals affected, they normally cry out in silence. They cry for help. Sometimes we are not able to see that somebody is quietly crying for help. They are struggling. But because there's a lot of taboo and there's a lot of stigma around it, it takes a very long time for someone to be able to open up, fear of the unknown, for fear that you don't know how people are going to treat you after that, for fear that family members will not accept you as they will normally accept you. There usually seems to be little or no attention to those who are affected. Well, it's good that we all treat mental health or depression same as a broken arm, same as any other medical condition, because in reality, depression is a medical condition that needs treatment. Sometimes even those who are aware that an individual is depressed, they may not be able to approach that individual who has depression to talk with them, because they themselves do not know how that individual is going to react. Because if I have depression and I don't want to talk about it, then you, Daniel, are knowledgeable about depression. Then you pick out the signs on me. Then you approach me as my friend to talk to me, and I back up and I say, please, it's none of your business. I didn't ask you to. Are you a doctor? You know that some people will react like that. So sometimes you also have people out there or friends who have noticed that there's something wrong with someone or with a friend. They are also afraid. They are tiptoeing around that person because they don't know how to approach the person, and they don't know what to say because they do not know how that person is going to react.
I would say you should keep trying, because sometimes you may not even know you're depressed. Like I was saying, you're very comfortable in your own world. You think everything is okay, but people around you, when they see this sign that we went through, you know that the person, that's not like Danielle. Like me now, people know if I'm depressed because maybe I'll withdraw from everybody. And I'm a 30 person, maybe I do live twice in a week. I'll stop all this live. You should know that there's something wrong with me. You understand? I may not know. I will say, oh, I'm fine, or I'm tired, I feel sick, I'm tired. But if your friend doesn't want to talk about it, maybe she doesn't know she's depressed. You understand? Maybe she doesn't know. But again, so keep trying. Do not let her go. Keep trying. One time she will talk. Again, if now for somebody that is depressed, you're being the doctor told you that you're depressed, then also you have to talk. Like you're saying, they still have to talk to their loved ones so that you can see how they can help them. With therapies and talking therapy. Like I said, there's talking therapy. You will go to the therapist, they'll do that with you. So at least with your friend, you can chat. And if you know what the person like, maybe that's what you should talk about. And we need to listen. This is one problem that we have in our community. We don't listen, and then we judge people so quick.
Yes.
We judge people very quickly. Somebody will start talking, oh, how can you say you're depressed, Daniel? You're not depressed. You understand?
When I see you doing live videos every day, when I see you on Facebook every day, how can you say you're depressed? When I see you laughing every day, sometimes that laughter is a mask of what
I know. So we need to listen when people are talking. We need to listen, be less judgmental. I always say to people, be less judgmental. Listen. If maybe that they just listen to the person only. Let her talk. Let her do the talking. And then maybe another day, and start taking things that she like. Talk about things that she like. Like me, I like fashion. So start talking about me, about fashion. Send me picture of fashion. Send me new picture, latest dresses, fashion show, things like this. So I'll start talking. We should know our friend. If I know Clarice like makeup and things, I'll start talking about makeup. That will engage her to talk more. Because you need to put the depression on the side and talk to the person like she's okay and fine in you. But when you go straight and say, oh, Daniel, you're depressed. Who told you I'm depressed?
Yes, you go straight into the defensive. Yeah.
That's it. Because you don't know how the person will react. Either she's going to tell the whole Ivorian people, oh, Daniel is depressed.
So it also depends on the approach as well. The approach.
So you need to be very, very professional when you're talking to. So if you know your friend is depressed, like you said, go and read about it. Read about the sign and how to approach it. It's very easy. We can all do it. This is a time now we can all do it. We have to be there for one another. And I believe in that. I believe in keeping our friends close, watch up over our friend. I do believe in it.
That's good. Thank you so much. Do you have any closing remarks before I make my own closing remarks, because we've been on for 1 hour 9 minutes 45 seconds. So.
As for me, don't worry. And I would say, but what and this situation, what we can really do with to avoid all this depression and things like that, we have to maintain our familiar routine as much as possible. What we used to do, create new one if we can. Like now, the kids are home, you can do some activity with them, discuss with the kids about coronavirus, because some of them maybe they don't even know why they are home. They only heard. Like my daughter was saying, "Oh, mommy, they say we can go and visit our friend now." No, you're not going yet.
No.
They say we heard it from the TV. I said, okay, about the TV, put it on the side. So things like this. There are so many news out there that people are talking about it. You need to be very mindful of where you take your news from as well, because there are fake news out there. Support your children with their home learning, spend time with them, help them to think positive, to express their fears, their sadness, their feelings. You need to really help them to be to think in a positive way. Also, like I said, you can create things like me, I'll find some old thing that we used to eat when we were children, and I'll do it with them. You see them, they are very happy. Things that they record it so they will know that, oh, what they are doing, mommy is interested in it. Don't say, oh, you come and do it, and maybe you're somewhere. You need to be involved as well with them. It's not easy. I know we, as African, we are not, me, I go in my kitchen, I'll do my cooking, I come out. No, we have to plan to get them involved. By the time they start cutting, sorry?
Sometimes we say, can you stop disturbing me in this kitchen? Can you leave me alone?
Get out of my kitchen. So now you have to do things with them. Sometimes you have to give them freedom as well. Like my 14 years old, sometimes she say, oh, mommy, I'm going to make something. She'll go Morrison, buy a thing and come and cook. And she and her sister are eating. As for me, I'm not involved. I eat my rice, I'm okay. What you're making, I'm not part of it. So so you have to help the kids stay in contact with family member. Like I was saying, call your family member, put on video, let them chat with the kids, chat with everybody, and then they'll be okay. Try to put them a bit relax about computer and technology. Sometimes let them just to play among themselves instead of being on a video game and things like that. So there are so many things that we can do right now, but we should try. And like I said, let us talk. If you're having problem with somebody, if you cannot trust, there should be somebody in your family, in your community that you can trust. Let's do the talking, because talking really does help. And the situation is everywhere. Like I said, is everywhere. It's not only you at the moment. And also on my Facebook page, I always say to people, right now you have 3 months. They can freeze your credit, like credit card, loans, all these things. If you cannot pay, do not stress. Freeze it. Go and see them, ask them to freeze. You can even do it online. You just go on the website, they will ask you if you want to freeze it. You freeze it. 3 months, you're not paying. At least that will take this burden away from you, because if you pay 1,000 and then you have to take maybe 500 out of it to pay maybe for credit card or loan, shark, things like that, you only have 500 and you cannot make it. Just freeze that. Yeah, just freeze that. Do not stress right now. If you cannot pay your rent, don't pay. They are not going to take you anywhere. I said, they told us. So just try to do things that are not going to stress you. Anything that is going to stress you financially, put it on the side. We'll sort it out when we get there. Like they say, we'll cross the bridge when we get at the bridge. But right now, you have to look after your well-being. And that's all where I'm going to stop for now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for honoring my invite. I mean, it's been a brilliant show. I just want to thank everybody who has been watching and contributing as well. There are a few questions, but we will go through the questions after the show. Then if you can answer any, you answer. Then if I can answer any, I'll answer. Then just to close our discussion, I just want to say, let's not tiptoe around this topic of mental health. Let's face it. Let's talk about it, because if we can take care of our physical health, we can equally take care of our mental health, because it forms part of a whole. Let's not only concentrate on the broken parts of or on the physical broken parts of our bodies. Rather, let's also concentrate on our brains. Our brains can equally be broken, and when they are broken, that's when you have mental illnesses. That's when you have depression. Our brains form part of our bodies. Then it's the end of our show, and before we go, let me let you go with a positive quote. A positive attitude gives you power over your circumstances instead of circumstances having power over you. And that's by Joyce Meyer. Take care, Daniel. We'll talk.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.